Have you ever wondered what culinary delights graced the tables of feudal Japan in the early 17th century? Picture this. It's the early 17th century, and Japan is a land of samurais, shoguns, and sumptuous feasts fit for royalty. But what exactly were they eating? Subscribe and join me as we uncover the delicious secrets of this bygone era. Our journey starts with the opulent banquets thrown by feudal lords, or daimyos. These extravagant gatherings weren't just about satisfying hunger. They were elaborate displays of power, prestige, and culinary prowess. Imagine stepping into the grand halls of a daimyo's castle, adorned with silk banners and adorned with intricate tapestries. The air is filled with the aroma of simmering broths and sizzling meats, enticing guests from far and wide. As the guests take their seats at the lavish banquet tables, they're greeted by an array of tantalizing dishes fit for royalty. Sushi, a delicacy of vinegared rice topped with fresh fish, takes center stage, each piece meticulously crafted by skilled chefs. But the feast doesn't stop there! Tempura, crispy battered vegetables and seafood, adds a satisfying crunch to the meal, while colorful arrays of wagashi, traditional Japanese sweets, offer a sweet finale to the culinary extravaganza. Can you imagine the delight of indulging in such sumptuous delights? It's no wonder these banquets were the talk of the town, showcasing the wealth and generosity of the daimyos. However, behind the scenes of these extravagant feasts lay a world of competition and culinary innovation. Chefs vied for the daimyo's favor, constantly seeking to outdo one another with new and exotic dishes. It was like a culinary battleground, with chefs wielding their knives and ladles like samurai swords, each dish a testament to their skill and creativity. But as we marvel at the decadence of these feasts, let's not forget the underlying power dynamics at play. While the daimyos reveled in luxury, many commoners struggled to put food on the table, a stark reminder of the inequality that defined feudal Japan. But what about the samurais, the noble warriors of feudal Japan? With the daimyos indulged in lavish banquets, the noble samurais relied on a different kind of sustenance to fuel their endeavors. Picture this. The sun rises over a tranquil Japanese landscape as samurai warriors gather for their morning meal. Unlike the elaborate banquets of the daimyos, samurai cuisine was focused on practicality and strength. At the heart of the samurai diet was simplicity and balance. Miso soup, a nourishing broth made from fermented soybeans, provided a comforting start to the day, warming both body and soul. Grilled fish, often seasoned with salt or soy sauce, was a staple protein source, supplying the samurais with the strength they needed for battle. And let's not forget about the humble bowl of rice, a symbol of sustenance and stability in tumultuous times. But perhaps the most iconic element of samurai cuisine was the art of tea, known as chanoyu. Tea ceremonies were not just about quenching thirst. They were sacred rituals that fostered harmony, respect, and mindfulness among warriors. Can you imagine the serene ambience of a tea room, where samurais set aside their weapons to partake in the simple pleasure of a shared cup of tea? It was a moment of tranquility in an otherwise chaotic world. However, the life of a samurai was not without its challenges. In times of war, they faced grueling battles and arduous journeys, relying on their discipline and training to overcome adversity. As we savor the flavors of samurai cuisine, let's also pay homage to the courage and resilience of these noble warriors, who upheld the principles of honor, loyalty, and duty until the very end. As we delve deeper into the culinary landscape of feudal Japan, we mustn't overlook the humble yet hearty fare enjoyed by the hardworking peasants who formed the backbone of society. Let's uncover the simple yet satisfying dishes that sustained them through days of labor in the fields. Imagine a bustling Japanese village where the air is filled with the savory aromas of home-cooked meals and the sound of laughter echoes through the streets. This was the world of the peasants, where resourcefulness and creativity reigned supreme in the kitchen. At the heart of peasant cuisine was rice, the ultimate symbol of sustenance and abundance. Grown in the paddies that stretched as far as the eye could see, rice formed the foundation of every meal, from breakfast to dinner. But rice was just the beginning. Peasants made the most of their limited resources, utilizing seasonal vegetables, wild herbs, and foraged ingredients to create flavorful and nourishing dishes. Take, for example, namono, a simple yet satisfying stew made with whatever ingredients were available. Whether it was simmered daikon radishes, tender bamboo shoots, or earthy mushrooms, namono was a comforting meal that warmed the soul. And let's not forget about tofu, a versatile protein source made from soybeans. Whether it was grilled, fried, or served in a hearty miso soup, tofu provided peasants with the sustenance they needed to sustain their hardworking lifestyles. But perhaps the most beloved aspect of peasant cuisine was the sense of community that accompanied every meal. Whether it was sharing a pot of hot soup with neighbors or gathering around a communal fire for a festive feast, Food brought people together in times of joy and hardship alike. As we celebrate the flavors of peasant cuisine, let's also honor the resilience and resourcefulness of those who relied on their ingenuity to make the most of what they had. Their simple yet satisfying meals remind us that true abundance lies not in extravagance, but in gratitude for the blessings of everyday life. As we savor the flavors of feudal Japan, it's important to acknowledge the darker truths that lurked beneath the surface of these delectable dishes. While the elite indulged in lavish feasts fit for royalty, many ordinary citizens faced hardships and inequalities that could not be ignored. Behind the grandeur of daimyo banquets and the simplicity of peasant fare lay a stark reality: the rigid social hierarchy of feudal Japan. This system, known as the Shinokosho system, divided society into four distinct classes: the samurai, peasants, artisans, and merchants. At the top of the hierarchy were the samurais and daimyos, who enjoyed immense wealth and privilege. They feasted on the finest delicacies while ordinary citizens struggled to make ends meet. The gap between the rich and the poor was glaringly evident in the realm of food. While daimyos hosted extravagant banquets with exotic ingredients flown in from distant lands, peasants often subsisted on meager rations of rice and vegetables. This stark contrast in diet reflected broader inequalities in access to resources, education, and opportunity. While the elite lived lives of luxury and abundance, many peasants faced poverty, famine, and hardship. As we reflect on the feasts of feudal Japan, let us not romanticize the past or turn a blind eye to the injustices that existed. Instead, let us learn from history and strive to create a more equitable world where all people have access to the basic necessities of life, including food. By understanding the complexities of our culinary heritage, we can work towards building a future where food is not just a privilege reserved for the few, but a fundamental right for all. And there you have it! The feasts of feudal Japan may have been a feast for the taste buds, but they also remind us of the complexities of history. If you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more mouth-watering episodes of Food Story. And sayonara until next time!